Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. In today's video, I just wanted to talk all about 100 Thieves. They are actually a very interesting team. Obviously, they've had a lot of things going great for them recently. They are the defending LCS champions. They went 3-3 at Worlds last year, and yes, they didn't get out of groups, but still people were really excited about that finish and think the future is bright for 100 Thieves League of Legends. The team is coming in really strong into 2022 again. They have one of the best farm systems in the West, in my opinion. They have usually a strong pipeline of academy and amateur talent. I know they have General Sniper on their amateur team right now. One of the best and most exciting North American prospects on the come up. A lot of things are going well for 100 Thieves right now, but I have been somebody talking a little bit about some of the downsides and some of the negatives, and maybe the fact that 100 Thieves is a little overrated coming into the lock-in tournament. Some people give some pushback on that, some backlash, some hate, whatever. But today I want to talk a little bit more about one thing that I think could be a potential issue and that I'm a little bit worried about, and I see as a pretty significant problem for 100 Thieves for the rest of this season. It's spring split, but going into summer split as well, and something that they're definitely going to have to address sooner rather than later. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that a ton. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. With that being said, let's get right into this one. So, as I said, stuff's going good for 100 Thieves right now. They sit atop the LCS standings. This past weekend, they had a good week. They took down, CLG, which, hey, CLG, they kind of... Some people were a little bit surprised by them in lock-in. I think some people got a little bit too excited about CLG. I think we're starting to see that, like I said, this team does have a lot of issues. Maybe Jenkins isn't as good as people thought, at least right now. Who knows how he'll develop, but, looking good on Team Liquid and looking good on CLG is two different things. Same thing with contracts. He was great at times for Evil Geniuses last year, but, is he ready to be a main carry on a team like CLG? And then Poom, is he ready for the LCS at all? I think all those guys have bright futures ahead of them and are going to be great. It's just going to take a lot of time. I think people were getting a little bit ahead of themselves with CLG. But then also the fact that 100 Thieves took down Team Liquid. That is a massive, very big win. Again, they're 2-0, starting off hot. They're looking good. They bounced back from, the kind of weird loss to Dignitas in the lock-in tournament that had some people concerned and worried. But I think after beating TL, people are really excited and people are back on, the 100 Thieves train. And right now, they're tied with Cloud9 and Dignitas and FlyQuest, and I think, a lot of people assume the 100 Thieves is going to be the best of those four teams. So they're really in a good position right now. But what I want to talk about is a tweet that Robert Haynes actually tweeted out. This is the president and co-founder of the Game House. Really cool dude. We've done some stuff together before. Hopefully we'll be able to do some more stuff in the future. But he had this tweet that really got me thinking. I thought he brought up a great point. And this is something that I've kind of talked about in videos before, but never really devoted its own video to it. I don't think, at least. The fact that I have no problem with Someday starting, but what I don't understand is why Tenacity is on this team if he's going to play one game of their first 10. Now, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess 100 Thieves has played 10 games. I was going to say, I don't know if they played exactly 10 games or if it's like 9 or 11 or something like that. But yeah, 100 Thieves played 10 games. They played... was it 10 games? I don't know how many games actually they've played. I have it right here. I think they've played 8 games, I want to say. I think they played 6 games in lock-in, right? 4 group stage games and got 0-2'd by Dignitas. Oh no, because they beat CLG. Yeah, I don't know. However many games 100 Thieves has played, whether they played 10 games, or 8 games, or 7 games, or 6 games, or whatever. 100 Thieves has a weird issue going up in the top lane with Tenacity and Someday. Because, this team is, again, the team that won the LCS Championship. They're being brought back. And then they added Tenacity as kind of this sixth man of the roster. And Tenacity was obviously their Academy top laner last year. He did pretty well. He was kind of a standout in Academy. He went to Worlds with them, and he didn't get to play in any World games, which I thought was a little bit strange. I thought they would have gotten him at least one game. He took the time to head all the way out there. He was stomping in solo queue. He was a beast. He was like rank 1 or something like that. He was really high challenger. He was doing awesome. And I thought they should have rewarded that with at least giving him one stage game. Whatever, that didn't happen. Not the end of the world. But now to bring him up to the LTS roster and not be giving him a ton of stage time again. I do believe they've played 8 games to start the season. And he has played one game. He got to play in this FlyQuest game where he went 2-3-2 on Kennen and they actually lost to FlyQuest. Obviously, this kind of looked like a bad loss at the time, but then again, FlyQuest is 2-0 atop the LCS standings now. Yes, it's only 2 games, but I think FlyQuest might be a little bit better than people thought that they were going to be. But either way, 100 Thieves should be able to consistently beat FlyQuest. Now, 100 Thieves did not play well as a team in this game. I'm not blaming this game on tenacity, and I don't think he played amazing, but I don't think he played bad either. Abadage 0-4 in the mid lane. Bot lane didn't really do that well. I don't think if you sub in someday into this game that 100 Thieves all of a sudden wins. I don't blame this on tenacity, but 100 Thieves is 0-1 with tenacity in the lineup this year. But the issue is that he's not playing Academy, and he's played one LCS game. And he's splitting scrims, and I wonder, is he getting 50-50 scrims with Someday? Is Someday playing more scrims and Tenacity's playing less? Is Tenacity playing more and Someday's playing less, in hopes of hopefully ramping up Tenacity to the point where he gets good enough to play? Is Tenacity not doing well behind the scenes? Are scrims not going well with him on the roster? Are scrims just going super, super good with Someday? Because, that was another thing that, I was a little bit worried because I didn't think Someday was all that amazing last year. I was a little bit concerned about him that, hey, he looked like kind of the weak link on 100 Thieves, and maybe for the last season or two, he kind of has not been that dominant. He was a super, super highly heralded, Korean prospect, not Korean prospect, but Korean talent, Korean player coming over, and he had some amazing years, but he had some not so amazing splits and not so amazing games and not so amazing years as well. But so far, Someday's been pretty good this year. Obviously, this is their game against CLG where he goes 5-0 on the Gwen, and then their game with Team Liquid that they won as well. Where Someday went 0-1-7 on the Ornn. He's doing everything the team needs him to do right now. And hey, he's performing. So, it could be an issue of tenacity maybe not performing well enough and they don't feel comfortable, ready to throw him out on stage yet. It could be an issue of Someday just playing really, really well. But I think they're going to end up in this really, really weird scenario of not knowing who to play and maybe tenacity not having opportunities to play. And then at that point, like, Robert Hayden said, what is the point of him being on this roster? I really think it could potentially, stunt his growth or hurt him or hurt the team overall, to have one of the top North American prospects. This guy was a beast in Academy last year. He is a young prospect who is pretty cracked. Like I said, he's dominant in solo queue. He, has a ton of talent. He can be an amazing top laner in the future. He's a guy who they might be able to sell off to a team for a ton of money. He's a guy who might be their future top laner. But right now, I think they're really doing him a disservice by not getting him stage games. And like I said, I don't know what 100 Thieves' plan is in the future. Maybe Tenacity's going to play this weekend. Maybe he's going to play against Immortals. Maybe he's going to play both games. Maybe, throughout the course of the split, Someday's going to get 9 games and Tenacity's going to get 9 games. Or Tenacity will get like 6 games and Someday will get 12. Maybe they have plans to work this whole thing out. But so far, this hasn't made a ton of sense. And so far, I don't think it's working out that well. Now, yes, it is really, really early days in the season, obviously, but hey, we just had a meaningless preseason tournament where Tenacity was only able to play 1 game. Now, spring split regular season is also pretty meaningless, but is it more meaningless, less meaningless than lock-in? I don't exactly know, and it's going to be interesting to see how 100 Thieves decides to play this out. Again, I'm pretty skeptical of 6-man rosters. I think they can be hard to make work out. I think for the most part, they haven't been that successful in League of Legends history, and I think for the most part, a lot of players and teams and management and stuff kind of mismanage them and don't really know what they're doing with them. And again, you only have so many scrims. You only have so many regular season games. You only have so much time to devote to every player, to every team, to strategies, to picks, all that different stuff. And there's so much going on behind the scenes we don't know. Like I said, we don't know how Tenacity is performing. We don't know how Someday's performing. We don't know how the team feels about either one of these players. But it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me to put one of the top North American prospects on ice like this. Yes, it's only been for a short time, but this is definitely something I'm going to be following and tracking over the course of the season to see how this goes and to see how 100 Thieves is able to balance it. Because I don't know. I mean, there might be a world where they just send him back down to Academy and he just becomes the Academy top laner once again. And if they don't do that, then they need to get this guy some games. He needs to be playing. But that is pretty much everybody's video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this whole situation. Do you think 100 Thieves is handling this fine? Do you think Tenacity should be getting more stage games? Do you think 100 Thieves is trolling this? Do you think he should just go back down to Academy? I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hope to catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.